Hello and welcome back to my Slow English podcast. I'm Mehnaz. Today I'm going to teach you about taking small steps every day and notice a few important words in it. Please like this video and share it with your friends to show your support. What if you took small steps every day? Nothing dramatic would happen on day one. You wouldn't feel like a new person. You wouldn't suddenly become disciplined, focused, or successful. In fact, if you're being honest, it might feel almost pointless. One small step, that's it. It might be reading 2 pages instead of none, practicing for 10 minutes instead of skipping, writing a few lines instead of waiting for a perfect idea. It feels small, almost too small to matter. And that's exactly why most people ignore it. We are trained to look for big changes, big moves, big results. We think progress should feel noticeable, fast. But real progress doesn't work like that. If you took one small step today and then another tomorrow, something quiet would begin to happen. Not visible at first, not impressive, but real. Because consistency starts where motivation ends. But if you still did the step, even when it felt meaningless, you would be building something more important than progress. You would be building identity. Not the identity you talk about, the one you prove. Because every time you take a small step, you send a message to yourself. I am someone who shows up. And that message, repeated daily, becomes belief. After a week, nothing big has changed, but something subtle has. The resistance becomes weaker. The starting point becomes easier. You don't need to convince yourself as much. You just begin. That's the shift. Not from failure to success, but from resistance to motion. After 2 weeks, something interesting happens. The step starts to feel incomplete. 10 minutes feel short. 2 pages feel light. Not because you force yourself to do more, but because your baseline changed. This is where most people make a mistake. They suddenly try to do too much. They go from small steps to big leaps. And big leaps break consistency. The power was never in doing more. The power was in doing it every day. If you kept the steps small, even when you could do more, you would protect the habit. And the habit is the real goal. Because habits scale naturally. Force does not. After 1 month, you would know more than before. You would feel slightly more comfortable, slightly more capable, and more importantly, you would trust yourself more. That's the real reward, not the outcome, but the trust. Most people don't fail because they are incapable. They fail because they don't trust themselves to continue. They start strong, then disappear. But if you took small steps every day, you would remove that pattern. You wouldn't rely on motivation. You wouldn't wait for the right mood. You would act, even when it feels ordinary, especially when it feels ordinary. After 3 months, what felt small is no longer small, because small actions repeated daily are not small anymore. They stack, they connect, they build. This is where the gap begins, not between talented and untalented people, but between consistent and inconsistent people. The difference is not effort, it's frequency. After 6 months, something else changes, your standards. You no longer accept 0 days. You no longer accept skipping without a reason. Not because someone told you not to, but because it feels wrong. So what if you took small steps every day? You wouldn't change overnight. You wouldn't impress people quickly. You wouldn't feel powerful in the beginning, but you would become dangerous in the long run. Because while others wait for motivation, you would move. While others start and stop, you would continue. While others chase intensity, you would build stability. And stability wins. Not in one day, not in 1 week, but over time, always. So the real question is not whether small steps work. They do. The real question is whether you can respect something small enough to repeat. Because if you can do that, if you can take 1 step today and another tomorrow without needing it to feel big, you unlock something most people never reach. Not talent, not luck, but control. And once you have that, progress is no longer a mystery. It becomes a system, a quiet one, a slow one, but one that never fails. For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next lesson.